Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Power Core Productions and Podcastings. Today, this is the final prequel arc in the Naruto King of Curses series. What if Naruto was a Jujutsu Sorcerer? Curse of Love arc. As you know, we have been doing these prequel mini arcs to establish the lore and the world of a fused Naruto Jujutsu Kaisen, a world where the power of chakra and cursed energy are morphed into one, becoming one of the many disciplines of the shinobi, a world where ninjas not only battle against each other, but against the dark forces of cursed spirits that roam their world. With this series, we conclude the prequel saga, if you will, with our final installment covering the events of the Uchiha massacre and the story of the last Uchiha survivors, Sasuke and Megumi Uchiha. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, then please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Megumi didn't remember his mother much. She was only alive till he was about 3, maybe 4 years old, before suddenly an illness tragically took her life. Megumi knew that his mother hailed from the Uchiha clan. His father, he didn't know much about him. Thankfully enough, due to his last name, he didn't get odd stares from most people in the village. But still, he knew that the circumstances surrounding his birth were less than ideal. There were always these old adults who came to the Uchiha compound, constantly making a fuss asking about Megumi. Megumi, however, was protected, sheltered in the home of the head of the Uchiha clan, Fugaku Uchiha, and his wife, Mikoto, along with their sons, the eldest, Itachi, and a young boy the same age as himself, in Sasuke. The two were polar opposites. Sasuke was like a ray of sun, always warm and inviting, his smile lifting up the spirits of all those around him. In the Uchiha compound, it wasn't uncommon to see them both together, the ever-boisterous Sasuke and the quiet and reserved Megumi. But above them stood Itachi, who was a pillar of the shinobi, who at a young age was already a captain in the Anbu, someone who had reached the ranks of Chunin and Jonin far quicker than most. However, something was off. There was no real way of knowing or telling, but recently, things around the Uchiha compound were getting a lot more intense. The adults were becoming a lot more secretive, at least those in the main family's branch of network, those who were a part of the family council, led by Fugaku. Of course, at the time, the boys had no idea what was going on. They had no idea that soon enough their worlds would change forever. Meanwhile, Itachi was fighting his own struggles. He was being pulled in multiple directions. Loyalty to his clan or loyalty to the village. He knew that to have one, he would have to give up the other. And recently, after the death of his close friend Shisui Uchiha, he felt like he was at a breaking point. The elders of the Uchiha clan had accused him of having had a role to play in the death of Shisui, and that was something he didn't take too kindly to. And if that wasn't bad enough, there was also the rumblings from the Zenin clan. It was in regards to Megumi. He was only half Uchiha on his mother's side. His father, a rogue shinobi who was said to not have much talent, at least in terms of what the Zenin were looking for. So much so that he was discarded, disowned. He took up a name after his own wife. And yet, still, they chased his legacy. They believed that bringing Megami into the fold would be a way for them to take the Sharingan, something that his father Fugaku didn't appreciate. The Zenin clan, they were at the gate, father, Itachi said. Yes, and what of it? It seems that they are once again in pursuit of Megumi. They're not going to have him. That boy is just as much Uchiha as he is Zenin. But father, don't you think I won't speak of it anymore, Itachi? She entrusted us with him. He's our family. You know what the Zenin clan are like. Itachi couldn't even argue with that. The Zenin clan were one of the noble clans of Konoha. Of course, they didn't stand with the real elites. Though, with the Senju practically dwindled into nothing, the Gojo clan and the Uchiha, they stood as the last of the co-founding triad of clans that founded the village. The Senju, the Gojo, and the Uchiha. But of course, the Zenin had grown and become more prominent, and their clan was rather boisterous, even more so than the Hyuga. Their practices, their customs, there were some that viewed them as wicked and vile. They were not looked upon favorably by most, but they had the power, the political backing to do whatever they wanted. And now they had set their sights on Megumi, someone who showed promise and potential, not just to use the Zenin clan techniques, but to also bring with him the Sharingan, a Kekkei Genkai that could be added into their bloodline and could only add to their power. It had gotten to the point where even those on the Konoha Council were starting to get involved. It was only thanks to the third Hokage that some amount of peace was able to prevail. But peace was impossible. Ever since the events of that night, when the Nine-Tails went on a rampage, the Uchiha had been ostracized from the village. When reconstruction took place, the Uchiha were put on the outskirts of the village. Of course, those on the council decided that it would be for a strategic advantage. After all, with them being on the outskirts closer to the gates of the village, it meant that they would be close to the border, the gates that were surrounded by talisman and various seals to keep out powerful cursed spirits. And with the Uchiha prowess for the Sharingan, it would mean that they would be best equipped to deal with any potential threats. But Fugaku saw it for what it truly was. On the outside, sure, maybe it did make sense to keep the Uchiha, but why just them? This wasn't just about some form of national security. They wanted to keep them watched. The rumblings of a coup and of revulsion were in the wind. Itachi knew that sooner or later something would have to give. The revolts were going to be inevitable. The only question was which side he was going to stand on when it was all said and done. Eventually, he would receive his orders in a way of speaking. They came from Danzo. What is it that you're asking of me? I am merely stating the facts. If what you say is true, that the Uchiha plan to revolt, then swift action must be taken. I believe that a calling of the coalition of clans would be in order. The might of the Gojo, the Zenin, the Sarutobi, the Hyuga, the Akamichi, the Nara, the Yamanaka, the Aburame. With our forces combined, we will crush the Uchiha rebellion. I believe in you, Itachi. I believe that you will be the one capable of righting these wrongs. Righting the wrongs? You care for your family, don't you? Your little brothers, Sasuke and Megumi. Do you think they will be spared if a war breaks out? It will only destabilize the village. Our enemies will see and they will jump at the opportunity to destroy us. You are the one who holds the power. You and only you. But if you continue to emulate those that came before, those who were not strong enough to act and who did not have the will to do what needed to be done, you will face an even greater curse of indecisiveness, of inaction. You will lose everything. Itachi pondered these words as he walked through the forest of Konoha. He would be greeted by a figure that he hadn't seen in over 10 years. A ghost from the past. The being wore a mask with long dark hair, and through a single eye hole gleamed a Sharingan. It's you. You remember me. How could I forget? You killed my teammate. It was only an act of self-defense. You were wise enough not to challenge me. You have great wisdom, Itachi. What do you want? It's not about what I want. It's about what you want. I know that you're struggling. I feel that the tides of war are now at your doorstep. You don't know which way to go. Do you side with your family? Or do you make the ultimate sacrifice? And why does that matter to you? I have my own vendetta against the Uchiha. You do? And why is that? Because I am Madara. Madara, you say? Itachi looked him up and down. Sure, let's go with that. Let's say you are Madara. Why on earth should I take advice from you? I think that you're more civil, Itachi. The battle between shinobi and cursed spirit, it's a tale as old as time. Curses beget more curses. Hate produces more hate. If a civil war were to break out, it would destroy the foundation of your world as you know it. Everything would be lost. Maybe I'm fine with that. I can see through your lies. I know that you're not. You want to protect what matters to you. I can help you achieve that goal. Sure, because you would do that from the kindness of your own heart. What I'm giving you is kindness. A mercy, you might say. A mercy. The one known as Madara pulled from his robes a black talisman with red writing. The kanji for a veil. It's a barrier seal, a curse technique. A veil, Itachi said. You know what you have to do, but do you have the strength to do it? How does it work? The Uchiha are on the outskirts of the village. This is good. It will stop those who are not in the fold from getting involved. Our presence needs to be concealed, especially from the one who possesses the Rikugan, the Six Eyes user, Itachi said. You mean, yes, that one. I fear to say, but even I will be cautious when engaging with him. So even the great Madara has fear of the Six Eyes, Itachi said. Being cautious is not the same as having fear. It's just easier to avoid unnecessary drama. Even if we could defeat him together, at what cost would it be? There would be too much lost in the process of engaging in a fight with him. No, he needs to be kept out of it by any means. This veil was made specifically to counter the Rikugan. Once it's cast, only Uchiha will be able to enter or exit the veil. Once we accomplish what we need to, we can slip out of the village. I have a jutsu that will allow us to escape. Itachi looked upon the talisman, debating what to do in his mind. The coup was set to happen in just a few days' time, and the countermeasures were already being put in place. There was only one day that they could use to strike, the day that the Uchiha would least see it coming. But once he did this, there was no going back. Itachi knew this. I have one condition. Of course. There are two boys in my family, Megumi and Sasuke. You are not to kill them. You are not to harm them. You so much as look in their direction. And what will you do? I'll destroy everything. Itachi's Sharingan would morph, changing in pattern and shape. The Mangekyo. So you too bear the eyes of pain and sorrow. They are nothing but a curse to me. They are the only tethers of my humanity. If they were to die, truthfully, I wouldn't care what happens to this accursed world. Maybe I'll just destroy everything myself. The Leaf, the Uchiha, you. You would fight the whole world. For my brothers, without hesitation. Very well then. I have an organization called the Akatsuki. I would like you to join us. That won't be a problem, will it? I also have another condition then. Be careful. It's not wise to be greedy at the table. The Akatsuki will not harm the Leaf. As long as I am alive. You must vow to me. No. I want a binding vow. A binding vow. Yes. A binding vow. A curse. I will be loyal to the Akatsuki. I will carry out any assignment that you give me. But if you or anyone in the Akatsuki dares to attack the village while I am alive, Itachi would extend his hand. Then let the light vanish from your own Sharingan, and let your mind be consumed in ash and burn. Very well then. I, Madara Uchiha, agree to this binding vow. In exchange for your servitude to the Akatsuki, I will not raise my hand against the Leaf so long as you live in this world. And if I am to break this vow, then let my mind be consumed and incinerated. But that handshake, the vow, would be agreed upon. That morning, both Megumi and Sasuke would leave to go to school, saying goodbye to Fugaku and Mikoto. They had wanted to say goodbye to Itachi, but he was nowhere to be found. As the boys raced together, Sasuke was very optimistic about shuriken training today. Just watch! I'm gonna get a perfect score! I'll hit all 10 targets, no problem! Then I'll be just as good as Big Brother. You're always confident, aren't you? Megumi would say. Come on! You're not too bad yourself. Why do you always have to be so gloomy? Because, Megumi said, everyone's always looking at us with great expectations. Like seriously, just because we're Uchiha, that doesn't make us better than anyone else. I agree. I don't think it makes us better than anyone else. But we have to keep getting stronger. You know, so that we can stand next to Big Brother Itachi, Sasuke said. Their goal had always been to stand right beside their older brother, to one day share the same light as him. Fugaku always spoke his name with high praise. They always tried to raise the bar with their jutsu. They practiced tirelessly the shuriken jutsu, the fireball jutsu. They studied. They worked at their skills every single day. They had even gotten to the point of being able to craft their own sealing talisman. And, through some dangerous work, they were able to seal a low-grade curse. Fugaku was actually impressed. That's my boys. His boys. He actually acknowledged us. Come on, we're gonna give it our all today. I just know it. Today's going to be the best day ever, Sasuke said. And Megumi couldn't help but grin. They were getting stronger. They were getting better. Perhaps he wasn't giving themselves as much credit. The school day dragged. Really dragged. Not only was shuriken practice canceled, but for some reason the teachers kept the students behind an extra hour. And of course, Megumi and Sasuke always had a knack for playing hooky. They played on the playground after school, but for some reason, time just slipped away from them. While they were on their way home, they stopped by the market. There were vendors giving them fresh fruit sliced, ice creams, candies. It was kind of bizarre. Not that stuff like this didn't happen, of course it did. But if you didn't know any better, it felt like everyone was being extremely nice. It's like every time they tried to get home, there was something stopping them. Something stopping them more and more and more and more. It was almost dark by the time they got home. The two boys were in such a rush as they made it to the gate. They paid no mind to the veil, the barrier forming around the compound. But the moment they entered in, the looming evening sky almost immediately switched to night. Hey, Sasuke? Megumi would ask. Yeah? What is it? It's kind of quiet, don't you think? Quiet? Yeah, like, aren't people normally out, even at this time of night? Oh man, Mom's gonna kill us. We totally skipped way too long. Quick, do I have any chocolate on my face? A smudge, yeah. Really? I hope she doesn't smell it. Oh man, she always says not to ruin your appetite. Oh, Sasuke, do you smell that? Smell what? It's kind of like rust. You know, kind of like blood. Yeah, it does smell a little rank. The boys walked through the streets of the compound. There were no lights on. No sounds of homes, of cooking, laughter, talk. Did everyone just go to bed? They had no idea. As they continued to look around, they came close to the Uchiha police station. Both Sasuke and Megumi would approach the building, the faint traces of blood now growing stronger for the both of them. They called out, calling for any adult, anyone who could help. But as they opened the door, what fell before their feet? The lifeless corpse of an Uchiha officer. The boys would immediately running and heading home as quickly as they could. The more they looked, the more they realized there were bodies laying in the streets. From old man to child, adult, everyone in between, left and right. It was a bloody massacre. Had they been attacked? What was going on? Was this potentially happening all over the Leaf Village? Both Megumi and Sasuke would race to their home. As they opened the door, they called out for their mother and father, desperately hoping that someone could help them. But as they made their way to the living room, the freshly slain corpse of Fugaku and Mikoto Uchiha would fall at their feet, and the one standing above them, the one holding a blood-stained blade, it was Itachi. Itachi, what's going on? Mom? Dad? Sasuke tried to reach out to his brother, the last bastion of hope that he had in that moment. But the moment he got too close, a shuriken flew past his face, leaving a slash mark. Megumi was stunned and paralyzed. The people that took him in, the family that raised him, all gone. And now seemingly the one responsible, looking at them, ready to take their lives. Without hesitation, Megumi would grab Sasuke by the arm as they ran out of the door. Sasuke would yell for Megumi to stop. It didn't make sense. This couldn't be true. But Megumi only had one instinct: to run. The only thing he knew in that moment was that they were not safe. But before they could get too far, Itachi would stand before them. I have to say, I'm quite ashamed. I didn't think such cowardice could be in the blood of the Uchiha. Itachi, why? Why would you? Why would I? Foolish little brothers. You've only thought of me as the big brother who you looked up to. But you never knew me, the real me. The fact is, this clan, this family, has done nothing but hold me back from what I'm truly capable of. What you're capable of? I don't get it. Why would you? Because I wanted a challenge. These times of peace, my power has become meaningless. So much so that even cursed spirits don't give me a thrill. Do you know how many special grades I've exercised? It's not even fun anymore. There was a time when this world was enveloped in war, legendary shinobi who fought cursed spirits with far greater power than this. But I am trapped, cursed in an era of weakness. So I will make my own competition. It is said that there are those of the Uchiha who possess the ability to go beyond, a Sharingan that can evolve its next evolution. The Mangekyo. The Mangekyo. Father and mother, our family, no one possessed the talent. But you two, you have the potential. So tell me, will you be able to satiate my thrill for battle? Can you satisfy my hunger? Or maybe I was wrong. And maybe in the end you're all nothing but useless. Without hesitation, Megami would clasp his hands together as swirls of shadows would form around him. From those shadows, a horde of Shikigami rabbits would come charging at Itachi. It seems he started to unlock his innate talent, the power of the 10 shadows. Megami's eyes stung with tears, his eyes reflecting that of the Sharingan. You killed them, you monster! You shed tears for a family that was never yours. You think I care about you, Megami? You were nothing but an outsider, a stray dog that my family took in. And you were amusing. But in the end, you didn't have the drive, the talent. I wondered if your mother died because she was disappointed in what you would become. And she spared herself the agonizing trouble of seeing the loser you would grow up to be. Shut up! I will rip you apart! Megami would continue his assault with the Shikigamis, but they were all struck down by the blade of Itachi. Megami, thinking he had created enough of the diversion, would draw a shuriken from his pouch as he attempted to throw it at Itachi. But before it could even leave his fingertips, Itachi appeared behind him, grabbing him by the arm, disarming him in that moment, and twisting it behind his back. Megami yelled out in pain as Sasuke would yell for him to stop, but he didn't. He continued to twist and twist and twist until bones snapped. Megami yelled out in blood-curdling pain, and Sasuke had enough. Without hesitating, Sasuke would leap forward, picking up the shuriken that fell to the ground, his eyes stinging with tears as the Sharingan blazed in his eyes as well. He would try to launch an attack at Itachi, but with one punch to the gut, he fell to the ground, coughing up blood as Megami writhed in agony. Itachi looked down upon the both of them as they were basked in the moonlight. It seems that you boys can get serious. You can get stronger. I will only allow you to live, to see what you can become. If you truly want your revenge, if it's really what you desire in the depths of your heart, then curse me now. Bear yourself with hatred. And come find me when you have the same eyes as I do. Or you can stay here, curled on the dirt floor, and cling to your pathetic lives. With the final view, what the boys would last remember seeing were images cast from Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan. The loop of seeing their family torn apart and destroyed. until finally they were broken. A week later, both boys would awaken in the hospital, Megumi's arm in a sling, the two bandaged up, laying side by side in the bed, the third Hokage speaking to the both of them. He would take their statements from the ordeal, as he had to sort through the nightmare that was the Uchiha massacre. Itachi was now branded as a rogue criminal, wanted in every major nation. But there was also another battle that was brewing. Naobito Zenin had seen his opportunity. As the third Hokage came to his office, the leader of the Zenin clan was waiting for him. "I see you wanted an audience with me, Naobito. Lord Third, I for one would like to give my condolences. It is a shame what happened to the Uchiha." "Indeed, but I take it you're not here for that. It's about the boy. He has no family besides our own. It's time you stop playing around and give custody of Megumi back to the Zenin clan. And you think I would allow that to happen?" "I think it would be in the best interest," Danzo Shimura said, walking into the room with his cane, his right arm and right eye bandaged. "After all, the boy needs a family. And what about Sasuke? What about Sasuke's family?" "We have plenty of fine orphanages. But if you are really that concerned about the boy's safety, then allow me to..." "I won't. You can't keep him away from us. What exactly are you trying to prove? His mother? Nothing but a useless harlot, and his father, a treacherous bastard. If that boy has any plans of a future, any plans of succeeding, it would be under us. We have a right. You have nothing." The boy's mother made her instructions very clear. "What? She's long since dead." "Lord Third," Naobito said, "time and time again, at critical junctures, you have shown yourself to be incompetent. The only reason why you sit in that chair now is because Lord Fourth tragically lost his life. And even then, I doubt that he would have allowed such tragedy to happen under his watch. It says a lot about you. Perhaps new leadership would be necessary, and..." The room would fill with killing intent, as the third Hokage looked at both Naobito and Danzo. "For years, I have allowed you both to do as you please. And perhaps I gave you the wrong impression. I am senile after all. I have no one to blame but myself, so please forgive me for that. But let me make this perfectly clear. I am the Hokage. My word is law. Megumi will not be handed over to you, and I will not allow Sasuke to be handed over to you, Danzo. You are to stay away from the boys. If you come into contact with them, if you so much as glare in their direction, I'll make sure that you're locked away in the lowest depths of the blood prison, never to see the sun. Do I make myself clear?" Naobito would chuckle. "Crystal, Lord Third. But remember, your stone face might be immortalized, but you will not sit on that chair forever. Your time will come. Is that a threat? It's just a fact of reality. Hiruzen, Danzo said. You're always troublesome. What can I say? It's a habit. Later on that evening, another shinobi would be called into the office. He had silver streaking hair and a blindfold over his eyes, his headband wrapped around his shoulder. The one known as Satoru Gojo, Jonin of the Hidden Leaf Village. You wanted to see me, sir? Yes. I have an assignment for you, if you'll accept it, of course. There are 2 boys who have recently become orphans. I would like to leave them in your care and keeping. Orphans? Wait, are you talking about them? Yes. I'm guessing that the meeting with the Zenin clan didn't go so well. And you think getting the Gojo clan involved will do any better? Hiruzen would smile. I know I can count on you. The boys, they need someone. I don't think I'm best suited for that job. I mean you and your clan. I believe that you're a non-biased third party. I'm not saying that you have to adapt them into your clan or give them a name. I'm just asking that while they have a home, you will watch out for them. Your 6 eyes are powerful. I know that I can rely on you. No one will bother them if they know that they're under your protection. My protection, huh? Well, you got a point there. When in a crisis, always rely on your strongest. Still, can't say that raising a couple of kids was in the playing cards for me. Whatever expense that you need, I'll gladly, don't worry about it. Money's not something that you need to worry about. Physically, I'm sure they can recover just fine. But mentally, you know that they're never going to be the same ever again. Their lives, they've changed completely. And that's why I want you to guide them. I'm trusting you, Gojo. Well, this wouldn't be the first time. Alright. Later on that evening, Gojo would visit both of the boys. There were new arrangements that were going to be made. As of now, only 3 Uchiha were known to remain in the world. A rogue, cursed and never forgiven. One who would wander the earth, a criminal. And the other 2? The once buds of love had now bloomed into hatred in the depths of their heart. They were now stained black, and their resolve, their burden, their curse. Kill Itachi by any means necessary. This concludes Naruto King of Curses. What if Naruto was a Jujutsu sorcerer? The Curse of Love arc. With this, we now conclude the prequel arc series for Naruto King of Curses. Next week, we begin with the main series proper, with What If Naruto Was a Jujutsu Sorcerer, Naruto King of Curses, Part 1. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is Power Core Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. I'm Javon Harrington, signing off, and I'll see you next time.